What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 49. Can't believe it. So, let's see if we can get our guest. MG 122082. What's up, Loves Jones? What's up, Kicks and Fits 216? There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good, good. Can't complain. Day off. Finally.
Finally. I was like, man, that's crucial. She's like, my day off is the 26th. I'm like,
Yeah, no idea. Because sometimes with this pandemic right now, my schedule's up and down. Everyone is just trying to just work with what they got. And then some people, they end up having to be out, obviously for reasons, whether they're sick or we're just definitely short staffed, and the demand is definitely high right now.
Sure. Well, before I, get into introductions and everything, I did want to ask you something I ask all my guests. What was the most positive thing you were able to take from 2020?
I survived it.
You survived it.
Yes, most definitely. So it could have been a lot more worse. I know that. Having some medical issues, working during this time, I definitely had my setbacks and challenges. So I'm glad to be here, and just to be here with my family and my friends, and including my fur babies.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to tell, we've got 5 or 6 people watching now. Hello to everybody who's joined.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah. Well, you want to, let everybody know who you are, where you from, what you do.
Well, my name is Windy, like the wind, literally. How I came with that name, very simple. Quite spell it. And so that's how I came up with it. I'm from SoCal. I grew up in the Philippines though.
Okay.
So I came here at the age of 12. So I definitely know what it's like to, be in different classes, whether it be middle class, low class, even high class, went down to middle, went down to low. So, I've had my stories and fair shares, I'm gonna say.
Okay. I figured as much about the Philippines as I said Thriller in Manila. I'm like, must, so I got you.
Yeah, but it's also because I started taking. Well, I've always been interested in martial arts, so right now I'm on and off practicing Jeet Kune Do, and a lot of that deals with because it's a hybrid. It deals with Filipino martial arts, boxing. It even has a little bit of Muay Thai in there, and I want to say it's over 30 kinds of martial arts within that, and that's courtesy of Bruce Lee having to do that hybrid.
Okay, so you got all of that, in there.
Yeah, I'm just very, I still got a lot to learn. I got a seafood that's in his 90s that can kick butt, okay, and can knock the wind out of you. So I wouldn't even want to mess with him.
Got you. I wouldn't either. Sure. All right. Well, the way that the show goes, I try to break it up into 3 different segments. So we talk about sneaker origins and history, then we go to sneaker present, and then we go to sneaker future.
Okay.
So starting off with the origins, what was that, first shoe that kind of first piqued your interest there?
Matter of fact, I just got them today. They were the Grant Hills 96.
Oh, okay. The Grant Hill too. Okay.
Yeah. And I know they're gonna do, I think they might have done already a restock. I should grab that myself, but they came out with the Sprite limited edition right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up copying that, and I told myself that I think it's about time that I grab it, because it's been maybe I was in 4th or 5th grade that I've been wanting those shoes, and I just couldn't afford it, you know. So I just kept looking at the kids with them feelers on, and they got the Grand Hills, and I'm like, you know. And I remember asking and begging, like, hey, you know, can I have those? Like, really, can I have those? You know. So, and I ended up getting some, unfortunately, Snoopy sneakers.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and that was the only thing that they could get me. So, but so it's bittersweet that I actually got the shoes now, but that's how it originally started for me, you know.
I got you. I remember when those Grant Hill twos came out. You know, all of the rich kids at my school didn't really mess with the felines. They were just strictly Nike. But all of the dope boys, kind of the hard dudes, had either the Concords or those Grant Hill twos. So,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
you know, I remember that white with the blue patent leather strip. That's one of the pairs I have. Um, I remember it being pretty prevalent when I was in ninth grade. So yeah, that was 95, 96. It's everywhere.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I actually wrote about it, right? It was something that kind of just triggered me because I have a goddaughter, and she's, you know, obviously a newer generation. And I was asking her if she knew Allen Iverson because, you know, she was looking at shoes, you know, she's asking me. And then she's like, who's Allen Iverson? And I'm like, what about like Grant Hill? Who's that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm old. I'm so old, you
Yeah, yeah, that's a crazy realization.
know? Yeah. And then so I had to, you know, I had to write about it. And, you know, I said, well, what made you a sneakerhead? I started asking everybody that, you know, it was just, uh, you know, question. And it seemed like everybody was able to relate. You know, everyone had a different reason for the most part. Some people had the same similarities that I did. They couldn't really afford it. Um, they were struggling with it. And now that they're actually are working and able to grab it, it just kind of became into this type of obsession at some point, you know. But to me, it's more so of now I can do it. I work hard for it. You know, sometimes I gotta watch myself, but you know, so it was definitely, you know, something that it was bittersweet to me.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now, when you first started, working or copping kicks, what was that first pair that you bought yourself?
To be quite honest, this is funny because I was just telling my friend about this. You know, back in high school, I was going to school, working. I still couldn't afford the J's, but if you ask me, I know like, hey, that's a one, that's a two, that's a three, that's a four, and you know, they had the cool grays, and I'm looking at them. You know, I'm still, you know, like it's still at that point where I truly like wanted it, and so finally, my first one that I grabbed was the Legend Blues 11.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I came out with a bang, the first one, like, you know, and
That's a
I remember, yeah, I remember it was a little bit easier, right, with the app, you know, because I'm like, all right, it's out of stock, it's out of stock. Let me just try it again. Let me just try it again. I remember doing it for an hour, literally. Woke up at 6. I kept doing it, and I had just came from work, working graveyard, and finally I got a notification saying that I actually got the shoes.
mm,
So I'm like, oh, all right, you know, not too bad, you know.
yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
a pair starting off with. I mean, All Star Jordan, Carolina Jordan, a lot of different things, all in that one colorway there. So definitely,
yeah.
definitely a good first pickup there. Okay, okay.
I mean, but don't get me wrong, you know, because you know I'm not really like I have hype stuff. But when I really started off, like, you know, I'd rock the Adidas Originals, Vans, Chucks. You know, you're from LA, you got it. You know, you got your Cortez. So you gotta have those, things like that's the basic. You gotta have it. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. All right. Now, when you started copying yourself, you've got that shoe now.
hmm
Where go-to place to get kicks back in those days?
Um, that's funny that you say that. I didn't have anything in particular that I, just went to. It was one of those things that, because I always just kept working and working. I literally will call stores
Mm,
and say like, hey, you know what? I know they just released, but by any chance, do you have a pair 7 or 8? I'ma make that 8 fit. Or if you got a 6.5, I'ma make that fit too.
okay.
you know. So um and luckily I was able to do it that way. And then ultimately it just kind of progressed with, like just doing it online. I can't really do now these days the first come, first serve. Um, just because, now these days it's a little different. I was in Long Beach waiting in line, and people ended up having to scrap, and it wasn't worth it. So I'm like, bro, have it. Like, no, I'm good. It ain't, if it's meant to me, it's meant for me, then I'm gonna grab it. But you can go on ahead and just do your thing. I'm not about it. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, where is your? Do you have a go-to place now, or is it just like a lot of people where it's just wherever you can get it? Or
Majority of the time, I do have a local place in Long Beach that I go to sometimes. It's called Proper. Um,
I'm familiar.
I Yeah. Sometimes I would hit on the Flex app. Rarely though. And I just enter raffles. That's what I do, you know. And then sometimes you just kind of try to, do your whole checking out thing, JD finish line. I know everybody can relate. They're like waiting there for an hour, like, come on, let me check out, before it goes out of stock, dude. Like, let me check out.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that just happened. My wife was actually doing that on those Maxo Yeezys. So, yeah, it's cool. You know,
Uh, yeah, yeah. There's
I,
some. See, now if you know the area here, I do have some areas here in like Fullerton and Long Beach, mom and pop places that you wouldn't even know that you can grab. Um, there's private sneakers in Long Beach proper, as I already mentioned. I also have a place that I go to in Orange, Fullerton area, and it's called Cool Shoe Shine. But this is actually a reseller place.
okay,
Yeah. So, but they do have an eBay account. And what I do is I just go ahead and put an offer and they either take it or accept it. Don't want to go for like the top, gotta just try to go for the low ones. And sometimes that's how I end up copying my sneakers.
gotcha, gotcha.
Mhm.
Now, before we end this first segment, where, or I should say, not even where, but what was the first sneaker that you paid resale for?
Shit. uh, that's a good question. I think it's for the Gamma Blues.
Yama Blue 11s or 12?
Yes,
Okay.
11s. Yeah. So I ended up having to get it for like maybe 325, and that was a good price actually.
Wow.
Yeah. Now these days it's like good luck. Call 1-800 you wish with that one.
And what size are you?
I am a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
men.
it's kind of size. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Finding a men's 7 or 7.5, that's like a needle in a haystack. You can find all the 7 Ys you want, but that men's 7.5 is tough. So, all right,
Hmm. Yeah,
all right.
so
You're wearing
I mean,
ladies. You would be a 9, I guess.
yeah, the foam posits though, like I have the
Mhm.
Dawn fishing one. Foams I normally get an 8 because
Okay.
they're snug, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like I gotta have some room in there and stuff, and I gotta make sure that I wear some, thin socks with it,
Got you.
you
Got you.
know.
Okay. Well, now let's jump to second segment, which is sneaker present, and I've got to ask you, you know, what shoe you have a lot of shoes. I see you post. I see all the shoes back there. But what's that
Mm.
first shoe that you can think of that comes to mind that you just wouldn't be able to part with?
It's probably gonna be the Gamma Blues.
Gamma Blue 11s. Okay.
Yeah, that's a grill. Like, I don't care. I mean, that thing could just be falling apart. I'd probably just find somebody to just restore that baby.
Got you.
So, but
Okay.
that would be the one, just one. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna have like a hard time letting go of the rest, but that's all right. I'm gonna cry, but you
Sure.
know, but the
Huh?
Gamma Blues, I gotta keep those for sure, for sure.
All right. Now, what's the first shoe that comes to mind that you need to undead stock? Where you're like, I need to really undead stock.
um, I'm very guilty of that. I'm very guilty of having a hard time just wearing my shoes and having a bad rotation. Like right now, I probably have like 10 that I haven't worn. Um, Majority of the time, though, I end up having to just do the 11s for sure. That's just always been my classic, and that was my first one that I was able to grab a little bit on the sentimental value, I guess. So that's probably the reason why. The rest can wait. I tell myself, yeah, sure, I'll get to it. Pick an outfit. I already got it going on, and I
So
still don't wear
you got dead stock now that you need to wear.
it. The what?
So you've got dead stock 11s right now that you need to wear. Like, I need to really wear those.
No, I already wore them for sure.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, what's the shoe that do you own a shoe right now that you wouldn't wear? Like you'd never wear, or do you wear everything?
Actually, you know what? I'm take that back because now that you just mentioned it about wearing it, I actually have the Air Jordan 11 Auto Adapt. I haven't worn those. Yeah, so I'm afraid to wear those, because of the price tag itself.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Now, what size did you get in those?
I got a 7.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 7.5. And the way that I got those shoes was, like I was telling somebody on Goat, if you put an offer retail the day of, the day before, or even a week, there's always going to be somebody that will want to just give you the shoe for retail just because they just want to get rid of it and they double up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still a dropping game for the folks. You know what I'm saying? Good. That's good.
Hmm.
Let's see here. We do have a comment to Alan Anthony. Need to ask her, does she buy outfits before or after the sneaker?
Oh, you know what? That's gonna be a before. I also like to shop before. I normally go for like online stuff. You won't see me go in the mall and pick out an outfit. No, everything that I get is online. Like I'll do Boohoo Man, um, sometimes Fashion Nova. I've even done Dr. J's and Jimmy Jazz. Um, remember that? I like to budget, even though it's an expensive habit. Um, sure. I'll even go to Five and Below. Give me a shirt for $5,
Hey,
and
fuck,
I'll rock that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it.
See, and people don't even know. Oh, what you got on? Oh, you look so nice. Oh, yeah, it's $5.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
Yeah,
only thing that expensive that's on me is the shoes. That's it.
for sure. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's joined. What's up, Dope Chick with Kicks? Okay. So now I got one for you. What's a shoe that, as I'm sure you know plenty of other people that are into sneakers as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's the shoe that everybody around you loves that you just don't fuck with?
Um, that's a good question. That's gonna be a tough one because I pretty much fuck with everything. Um, I just recently haven't been I just haven't been doing any Converse recently just because I haven't really had the opportunity to. Yes, I know, but I have the OG ones. Okay, I have the old school ones, OGs. I was telling somebody that I actually need to start copying it, because I got so focused on having to just cop everything else and they don't give you, time to recover at all. But, you know, it's, I don't want to say I don't like because that's not the word because I love them. It's just a matter of I just haven't copped them recently. But yeah, because I pretty much like everything. I like variety. It's just you look at my closet. I even have some Supras.
Okay.
And people would never even think that I got Supras.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, since I know that you're from Southern California, even before this show,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw you with some sky tops or anything like that, because I know those are still, you know, for a while there,
Actually, you know what? Now that you mention it, I got some in the closet, but would I rock it right now? Probably not.
See, to me, when it was the end of Super, because the store I was running at the time, we sold them. They made this shoe called the Chimera for Lil Wayne, and it was like
Yeah.
easy colors. You know what I mean? And he even said in interviews like they were trying to purposely try to have me go at Kanye when I wanted to do my own thing. That's why that didn't work. But before that, those sky tops, like the gold ones, just a couple of pairs I would still wear to this day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, I still got them for sure, for sure. I just don't, maybe just because as far as outfits, I don't have anything to just kind of match with it right now because recently I've just kind of been wearing shorts.
Nah, I got you.
Yeah, the weather over here in California is just too unpredictable at times.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, how often do you go back to Manila?
Um, I haven't been there since I was 12.
Oh, so you haven't been. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I need to go back to motherland, but you know, one of these days.
And you know the flights flying has been weird. I just didn't know if you went back ever so often, because I know the shoes over there, you know what I mean, is crazy.
Oh, the retro. Oh my gosh, the Air Jordan 4s that came out Manila. You
The
seen
green
those?
joint.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was getting ready to ask my brother if he could like buy, hey, you think you can grab some? But that was just like needle in a haystack.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, other than the Gamma, because that
Mm-hmm.
seems like the shoe, your favorite shoe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the shoe after that in your collection? That's just like, yeah, those are.
Air Jordan Bounce. Air Jordan 1 Bounce.
Oh, the black and reds. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the funny thing is that they really fit me snug, and I got those on a 6.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And even though they don't fit me like that, I ain't gonna get rid of it.
I'll just say, and I know I'm gonna make myself sound like an old dude saying this. I never thought that the Jordan 1 would be like the Jordan. I'm used to it being the 11 or the 6, or
Right.
sometimes it's been the 5. I never thought it would be the 1. Because up until 2013, dudes used to treat Jordan 1s like they treat Jordan 2s now.
Right. And it's funny, even in like maybe 2014, 2015, we were still kind of able to grab it. I remember my neighbor, he would just rock just Air Jordan 1s. You know, he would just rock it. And that was for 2013 and stuff. And he was able to grab it, you know. And then now I'm looking, um, thinking back, and this guy has all the ones. And I'm like, man, how much you got now in your collection, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and people sometimes take it as me hating when I say, and look, I still got more Jordan 1s than any other Jordan, but like I've been, wearing Jordan 1s before the hype. So, um, I don't know. It's still weird because I'm used to just being able to get them. To me, there were certain points in time where things kind of changed. It started to change when they came out with the band 1s with the X and the
Oh,
outlet.
yeah.
That was a point in time. When the Royal 1s came out in 2013, they were like the most hyped one. They were more hyped than the black and reds. They made the Chicago's like shit that year, if you remember, and they had the Jumpman on them and the bad leather. Um, the Shadows were around. All the OG ones were around in 13, but you could get them. Um, to me, other than that Royal one, it was kind of crazy. And then 15 with the shattered backboard, it kind of like went to the next.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
then when the
Yeah.
red came out again, it just was over.
Yeah. And it's, the sneaker game, it coincides with fashion. Every year there's always a trend. There's always a trend to follow.
Mm-hmm.
New Year hits, they're always putting out something. What's going to be in? What's the color? What's the shoe to wear? And guess what? Air Jordan 1s happen to be the it to wear.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Now this is a sort of a trick question, but it's not. But how many sneakers do you think you've copped this year? I'm only asking that to set up my actual question, which is you had to narrow it down to the five best sneakers. Could you?
Well, I was gonna say the strawberry milk, but they got my size wrong.
Yeah, I saw that in your story. So you got a men's 9 and you needed a women's 9.
Oh, I was like, what were you thinking? Just because it looked pink? Did you think it was? No, it was men's. My joy.
Well, at least you know that you can sell them, and you should be able to get your size. It shouldn't be that bad. I regret not getting them because, like, I have a pair. I just did a video on some. My wife was smart enough to get them. I wanted the chocolate milks because, I mean, we're here in North Carolina. We were able to go to the store and enter the raffle for social status, in person. I entered for her just in case she didn't win, but I should have been.
Wow.
So I just don't really like, and I'm not a mid hater. I have a lot of Jordan 1 mids. I don't like dunk mids, though. I never have. Low, that dunk mid thing, that's new. That was an SB thing that came out with. That wasn't no original thing. So, I wasn't fucking with him at first until I saw him in person. I'm like, damn. But I hope for your sake, you're able to off that pair and then still get, your pair.
Actually, yeah, I was able to actually have someone take it off my. Yeah, and I just got rid of it for retail. Like, they just paid the shipping and then that's it because I wasn't really trying to make money off of it, really.
Props. Yeah, props.
Yeah, so, but that would have been my top. Unfortunately, it's not now.
So that would have been your top release for this year had the size worked out.
Yeah, because I was really looking forward to that. I'm telling you, like, I actually was looking at my account and saying, okay, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off to this. I'm gonna pass this. I want my ducks. Woke up, did my square, and that little kitty. I got that going on. All right. And if for you to just, and it was social status. Social status sent me a 9.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm like, all right, well, there's no way that I'm gonna get a 7 or 7.5 now to exchange it. So
yeah, that's ugly.
Yeah, But I was fortunate enough to get the chocolate, though.
Good. So, I mean, I feel like the chocolate one is going to be probably a little more valuable down the line because it seemed like it's more of these strawberries than it was chocolates. So, you know,
Right, right.
hey, these a low top dunk like they did for the kids, I probably would have been all in.
Yeah, I'm surprised they did it as a mid, to be quite honest, because I was feeling the low tops really.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. So, but it's all good. Like like Mike Epps say Friday, players fuck up too.
Oh, they fucked up royally. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, with you being from Southern California, we've already talked about, Chucks, Cortez's, Vans, shoes that are worldwide known as that's a West Coast shoe.
Hmm.
What's your favorite of those West Coast staples?
Um, it would have to be Chuck's Converse, that's for sure.
Good.
That's why I said it's like, I
Yeah.
need to be just back on it, just cop it. Because if you're from here and you don't wear Chucks, you don't like Chucks, that's kind of unheard of. But then again, I don't want to be stereotypical. Everyone has their different tastes. But for me, you gotta have that for sure, for sure.
Okay. Now, when we were messaging the other night, I told you I was watching the Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan. If I wasn't so ashy, I'd show my Lakers tattoo. But, I've been following the Lakers with my father since the 80s, since Magic.
Okay.
So, since the Lakers were in Inglewood,
Hmm.
um, I have to ask this. This isn't even really a sneaker question, but at least two other sneaker questions. Are you Lakers or Clippers?
No, I have to be a Lakers fan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was worried. I was about to end it. You were saying Clippers. I'm like, you on the streetlight side instead of the spotlight side.
I mean, I'm sorry. I grew up watching the Lakers. When I came here, that was the first thing I was watching was the Lakers.
All right, so
Besides the Chicago Bulls,
sure.
but the Lakers.
So what year? And I know you're a lady. I'm not supposed to ask your age, but I'll just ask, what year did y'all come to America?
I came here in 1997.
Okay, so that was damn. This ring light just doesn't want to stay on. All right, so that was still
The Bulls had the recent championship that they won.
yeah, and the Lakers. That was like after the first year, Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, Derek Fisher and
Derek
then.
with Kobe. Kobe was growing the fro.
Hmm.
Yeah, Shaq was still ultra dominant. That's a good time. That was a good time.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I actually went to one of the championship when they were playing with the Sixers.
Oh, 2001. Okay.
Hmm. And then I remember just watching it, and I was getting, a little nervous there because, Iverson, he can ball.
Hey, that game won. I was shook. I ain't even gonna. I'm like, hey, the Lakers just swept the Blazers, the Kings, and the Spurs, and they lose to the 76ers. These dudes,
Hmm.
I was shocked.
Yeah, I was a little bit like, whoa, what's going on there, man?
And I can still. I mean, it's a moment it's an infamous moment now. But I remember watching that shit when he crossed over Tyronn Lue and stepped over him. I'm like, right in front of the Lakers bench. You know, Ron Harper was on the bench looking sick. I was sick too. And see, the thing is, even though I'm a Lakers fan and I wanted the Lakers to win,
Hmm.
I still fucked with Iverson because even though a lot of people were giving him a bad rap, because he had the cornrows and the tattoos, he had so
Hmm.
much heart. You know what I mean? Like he was going in there banging with Shaq, and he's not that much taller than me. I'm only 5'7", 5'8". He said,
Right.
I've been where he stood in front of me before, and he really wasn't that much taller than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I've been a few feet away from him before. 2 different times, actually. But, yeah, he's not tall. So, I mean, to have that kind of heart, to be going up against Kobe and Shaq, I felt for him that he couldn't win, but I still wanted the Lakers to win.
Yeah, of course. I
So,
mean, he wanted that. He wanted that championship. I mean, they all did.
So right now, before we get back to the shoes, the ring light went out again. I'm gonna just say fuck it. Before we get back, to the kids, uh, you're in SoCal right now. So the Lakers and the Clippers are both playing. Is the city divided, or is it still more of a Lakers town?
I want to say it's still Lakers town.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe I'm being biased. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, it's always different though. Like the Clippers have only been there since 84, 85. They were the San Diego Clippers, and before that they were in Buffalo, New York. So they weren't homegrown. I mean, the Lakers came too, but I mean they've been there since 1960, so it's completely different. But I don't know. I hate the Clippers. I actually hate the Clippers more than the Celtics, and I know that that's wrong. But I hate the Clippers more than I hate the Celtics. So yeah.
See, I gotta show a little love, because they're still from LA. But I mean, if I had to choose,
I mean, from what I've been told, again, you're there right now, so you could tell me. One of my really good friends, he kind of goes back and forth, and he was like, "Well, the hood fucks with the Clippers, and the rich people fuck with the Lakers," and I'm like, "Really?
I don't know about that."
Yeah, I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like,
no, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Because I mean, again, maybe it's just the people that I know that love the Lakers. I mean, but they ain't rich like that.
I'm gonna have a little action here. You can kind of see the right there. Kind of see.
Okay.
Little bit, but yeah, I mean, I love the Lakers. So, and I got this tattoo when they were 42 and 40 in 2007. So they weren't even.
Oh.
But yeah, this was like before Pau Gasol and everything. So
Gasol is a good player.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, let me get back to the kicks before I just talk about sports all day.
Yeah, I mean it's connected,
Yeah.
That's,
To me, basketball, hip hop, and sneakers are all together.
Right.
Me. But okay, all right. So I do have to ask, with you being, a lady, do you feel like you have any extra struggle, or it's a little bit harder for you being a lady that's in the shoes as opposed to, us guys?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Why do you feel that way?
I guess, I've met some dudes that are, I'm sorry, assholes. Okay.
No, they assholes.
And it's like, why are you gonna, like, really? We talking about shoe size here. I'm not trying to compare my shoe size to yours based on how much it's worth. Mm-hmm. I'm not copying that because it's worth a lot of money. I got hypes. I got non-hypes. I obviously have all different types of shoes. So why are you even trying to really say, oh, it's a brick? How about I throw this brick right in front of your face? Stop doing that.
No, I feel it. To me, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's because my alarm went off.
Okay. See, the resale on GS sizes is still kind of new. That wasn't really a thing. Like, even when, like, I used to, 2 jobs ago, I was a store manager for Hibbett Sports. And that was until near the end of 19. And, I mean, grade school was so available. I got more Concord 11s when they came out in 18. I got more grade school 7s than I got anything else. More than any size. And I got more grade school sizes than I got men's sizes. It was close. But now the grade school size is being resellable, or people cooking them, as they say. That's still a new thing for me. It used to be where people would want 6, 6.5, and 7 to wear, but not to sell. You know what I mean? So that's a different thing. So I figured I would ask that, because I'm not against, resellers, but the fact that it's spread into grade school now is crazy. But I know that there are a lot of assholes, and I try not to be one. As somebody who's been collecting, and I do feel like y'all get better colorways and a lot of shit. I will say that, but that's different. Y'all get better colorways and a lot of Air Maxes and runners. Y'all just do, women and kids. But
Mm-hmm.
I never want to be the old dude that's like, if I see you and you got on some 13s, girl, what you know about Michael Jordan? Like, I never want to be that dude.
No.
So, oh man.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you gotta educate though. That's the thing. Like, you gotta educate, and that's what I was trying to do with my goddaughter. Like, the minute that I asked her about these players, and she didn't know what she was looking at when I handed her, the questions, Reebok, and I had to explain to her, like, hey, this and this and this and this, and she's like, oh, okay, But, and don't get me wrong though, because I do sell here and there. Okay, it just so happens that it's because for this instance, I got the wrong size, or I end up having to just double up, win in a raffle. But I would not sell the GOAT prices or the stock X prices because I'm looking at, well, why am I going to do that to you? You're a sneakerhead.
yeah.
Why am I going to rape you with your money? Really?
That
Why
didn't
am
be
I going
more,
to do that?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, like, and the only reason why I'm doing it is because not only do I have an expensive habit here, but I do rescue missions. Like I do volunteer work for,
Oh,
for like I've done before with SoCal Bulldog Rescues or different, different sorts of Vargas Ranch over here. And saving a dog that's been neglected or whatever the case may be, the owner doesn't want him. The one lost dog that I ended up having to rescue cost me $300 just to rescue,
wow.
because I had to buy food, I had to buy a harness, I had to buy a crate, and I didn't want the rescue to pay out of pocket because guess what? They're gonna pay for all the medical bills.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I kind of do it, like, but I'm not about that whole like I'm gonna make $300 or $400 off of you. Really? No,
No,
I'm not doing that.
I appreciate that. Um, thank you. Thank you. Now let me ask you before we go to the next segment, the last segment, Sneaker Future. Um, what is other than this strawberry milk situation, you had another tragic sneaker story, a sneaker that got destroyed or messed up or
Uh,
that was hard to take or
Actually, so far, I got pretty lucky with, well, not lucky, but that's the only mishap that I've had so far, you know.
pretty good.
Yeah, and I've kind of just had my little luck here and there. I think the most luck I had was I won 8 pairs of sneakers, and I went broke. The what?
Was it all like 8 pairs of the same sneaker? Like you won multiple?
No, no, no. It was like I had some Yeezy and Flames. I had some toes. I had some Air Jordans there, and it was just like we. I had won the dunks, the Unk dunks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, 8. My bank account was hating me.
Hey, it's all good. Let me say one thing right quick. My boy Villainous Kicks. I'm selling on GOAT and StockX all day. Sorry. I
Oh,
know.
that's all right,
Yeah, I know that you be cooking. I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like I personally know him. You ain't got to say sorry. I know what you do. You know, that's some people. I'm not against resellers. I just don't pay
Mm-hmm.
resale prices, and I won't.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to you, my good friend, Villainous Kicks. But okay, all right.
Yeah, cause I've sold something on Go too.
I flip it with the thrift. I mean, I found stuff that was cheap at thrift, and I've gotten money off of it, so it's really not that different. So I'm never gonna, hate. I just it's hard for me to, having managed and worked at a lot of shoe stores. It's hard for me to even pay box sometimes, let alone over. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But okay.
I mean, some people gotta make their hustle. They gotta make their money, and you know what I mean. It's like, uh, shoot, more power to you.
Yeah, you ain't affected me none. So do what you do.
I mean,
That's,
people just have a different outlook.
yeah. So now we go into sneaker future, and I guess my first question will be,
You're welcome.
oh yeah, shout out to Mo Bumba. She was on if I'm saying that right, hopefully. She was on what you got? I'm trying to get on there myself, but I don't know how to get on there. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah,
prospect.
she actually copped the strawberries from me, so I actually sent it out to her today.
Nice, nice.
You know, so I was like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. I love you. I
Yeah,
love you."
following her for a little bit, so got some shit. Um, but where do you see your collection going in the future?
I want to say my future kids. I want to say that my future kids, in hopes that my kid or kids will take care of it.
Okay, keep your
If mhm. you
gotcha.
know, yeah, if at any point, like let's say something happens financially, whatever the case may be, they can sell it. You know, that's the way that I'm looking at it.
Nah, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Okay, okay. So as the year comes to a close, what what's on your what's on your radar for the rest of this year, 2021 with the kicks? Like, what are you?
That's kind of hard, really, because every time it's like a day or two, they're coming out with something else.
If you want, I can say mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying the Air Jordan 15 is the worst Air Jordan ever made, but I still want those Billie Eilishes just because, even though
Ah,
that silhouette, the way that they made it with that leather and that tan, you could really wear that with anything. I'm gonna try for it. I've already mentally accepted the fact that I may not win all of these shoes that I'm going to name, but I would like them, and I would want them if they weren't attached to Billie Eilish, because I don't listen to her, so but I
of
like
course, of course.
I like that shoe. But other than that, I had a lot of plans for those Midnight Navy sixes, but they got moved back to March. Um, I would like the off-white twos, the white ones, just because I love Air Jordan twos.
Hmm.
I have the all white and red lows that came out in 2004, so it's going to be a crapshoot how much longer I can actually wear them. So having that would kind of
Well, there goes my dog.
yeah. But
Yeah, yeah. No.
other than that, just a few more. I mean, I plan on getting a couple of LeBron 19s. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I mess with LeBron, even though I never wanted him to go to the Lakers, but I'm happy he's there, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
they have a good, pretty lineup. Really.
yeah, they do. They do. Hopefully they can gel. Um, so LeBron 19s, those craft ones that are sort of like a white biohack one that come out around Christmas, those. And of course, I'm going to try for some cool grays. I have the '01 cool grays, and
Oh yeah, that's
old
for sure.
bottom is orange, so I get a new pair. The 15s are sick. I had the Bread 15s when I was a kid. Don't lie, see you listen to a couple of yeah. So that's my little and they always come out with dunks and forces. I mean, those are kind of mixed in, stuff we might not even have seen yet. But what about you?
Um, it was really the strawberries,
Gotcha.
but you know,
Mobamba
but
said the Air One getting about those. My wife was just talking to me about those. I mean, I regret not getting the threes. I definitely should have. Those are up for shoe of the year. So
yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna end up having to pay resale on those, but I might still look around to see if I can get me a budget.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's an Air Max or two that I'm leaving out, but that's all.
There's a lot, you know.
And since I work for Converse, I'm sure they'll come out with some random collab like they came out with that undefeated Chuck Mid out of nowhere.
Oh
So I'm,
man.
I'm sure Converse will come out with something. I mean, they came out with all that Rick Owens shit out of nowhere, the NBA Jam Chucks and all that. So I'm sure they'll come with something before the year ends. And I'm like, oh, I gotta add those. So
Oh, oh yeah, the pink 14s. I was looking at those.
yeah, my wife, yeah, she she been talking about those for a little while. So we'll see about those too. Um, but yeah, I mean, before we close off, do you have any questions for me?
Um, Actually,
Ah,
yeah, I think you pretty much answered everything, man. We got to know each other, you know. We level, you know, especially with the chucks, you know. So
yeah, I mean, Converse is even if I didn't like, I had plans on breaking out all my Converse even before I got the opportunity to work with them. Being in a warmer climate, not being in Cleveland anymore, you know, just doing something. Chucks aren't really different, but for my age group and demographic, it is. A lot of
mm.
older black dudes just don't wear Chucks because they, for historically, you know what I'm saying, they haven't been the most comfortable shoes, but with
And
Nike,
I mean,
their touch is
yeah,
better.
yeah. I mean, you're right in that sense, but you know, it's not that bad that you can't wear it. I mean, I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like all short, bald, fat black dudes like myself, all
Oh, dog,
we all dress,
please.
we all wear the same polo hat. We all wear the same fucking Jordan T-shirt with the Razor Bulls or the newest retro. I got to be different.
No, and you're. I was getting ready to tell you that. You know, I do see that your collection is quite diverse, and that's really good.
Thank you.
You stand out.
I appreciate that. Villainous Kicks. Get some Converse leather weapon twos, white and gray. They are in the mail. They're on their way. I'm just waiting for them.
Ah, nice, nice.
You know. Now, one more question before we go, because I know you're
Mm,
still sort of a Lakers fan. Would you wear the Laker color Converse weapons?
yeah, I'd rock it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorite
Um,
of all time. Just because Magic's my favorite player of all time. Those are just
oh yeah, of course, of course.
so. Um, you know, I'm pretty sure that's why I need to come out there because I'm sure I could probably find a pair at a thrift store or something like that for the low. You know, thrift
Yeah,
crazy in LA.
yeah. You'll find some gems here.
Uh,
You know,
so,
that's what I do. I'm looking for gems all the time.
yeah, well, you know, when I come to the city, you know, we're gonna have to hook up.
Of course, man. I'll show you around.
Yeah, you show me the LBC. You talk about Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
I'll probably take you to the nicer area. Yeah.
uh,
You know, I'll probably just like, well, like, so this is, and then that's it.
yeah, sure, for sure.
You know,
But I really appreciate you, you know, being on the show. You know, thank you very much. You know, and I'll be looking
and thank you for having me, though.
No problem. I also wanted to give you props. You're the only other person I've seen use some of the filters that I've used. You know, where you can like make yourself pixelate, and you know, you got the sky moving and the fire. I like all that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. Because I've been trying out these apps probably since last fall, and you kind of reminded me of them because they just sitting on my phone. I'm like, I need to go back to doing that. So, you know, that's definitely
Yeah.
so.
Well, yeah, it's pretty easy once you get a hang of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I appreciate you. I'll definitely be in touch. I appreciate everybody in the comments. Thanks for
Thank you,
joining,
guys.
and we will see you soon.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.